Okay, so we were discussing behind the scenes, but I just wanted to, since the discussion deviated into who is doing what and introducing each other, I thought it's a nice opportunity to
Mm-hmm.
tell who is what and like tell about the project and what we are doing. Uh, this is for those who are new to this, is a contributor sync up for VMware Secrets Manager that we try to do monthly. It's on the last Thursday of every month, and let me find the link. I'm sharing the browser as well so that I can navigate to it while I speak. So if you go to vsecom.com, it's under the community link. If you go down, there's a click contributor hour, and all of the details are here, like the Zoom meeting, calendar reminders if you want to register it to your calendar of preference, and things like that. We have a meeting notes, but I don't think we are using it. It's here, but it has been more like an ad hoc meeting so far, and we were not vigilant enough to do the note taking part. But at least I am telling what has happened and what we are, our goals and ambitions and where we are heading towards. So I was introducing the community members, and that's why I decided to go live kind of abruptly. So my name is Volkan. For those who don't know, I am the lead architect of the project VMware Secrets Manager, and VMware Secrets Manager is a cloud native, Kubernetes native secrets management solution that uses SPIFFE and Spire as an identity control plane to distribute secrets to workloads. It's open source. It has a liberal license that you can use, unlike some other solutions. But overall, it is like a grand summary. You can go to vsecom.com and learn more about it. So in this meeting, there are Farhan, Güray, and Shahin, I can see. Farhan is one of our core contributors. He is helping the internal deployment and operations of VMware Secrets Manager in the business unit and areas that he oversees. I am kind of the jack of all trades. I do the project management, scheduling, prioritization, contacting with internal and external entities, and things like that. Shahin and Güray are contributors from outside the VMware community to have a more coherent, cohesive a ecosystem, I guess. Shahin has done a bunch of stuff that we haven't tested, but they are important projects. He initiated a Java SDK, which the code looks okay, but we need to verify and test it. That's why it's not part of the documentation yet. It is experimental, but if anybody who wants to experiment it, it's out there. Just reach to us and we can help you figure things out. He also created an OIDC resource server client structure around Secrets Manager, so that if you have if you have an identity manager like Azure Active Directory or LDAP or something, you can link it to Secrets Manager and use those credentials to manage your secrets, essentially. Güray likewise has done lots of contributions that I am ashamed to not remember, but yeah, he's also a valuable member of the community. And there's other people who are part of the project as well. Let me go to the GitHub of the project to give a glimpse, essentially. So this is the project, GitHub.com VMware Tanzu Secrets Manager, and it has right now, it has 19 contributors who add value to it in various areas and regards. I just introduced the core team, and then I'll just go with what we have done so far, what are our plans, and maybe then like open up for any questions that you might have. So this is the list of our core maintainers. Like I said, I am the lead architect, and with me there are a bunch of core contributors that add value to the project. Because of how the project is structured, I don't know if there's a way to accept core contributors from outside VMware, but it's just listing. If you add value and if you are from outside VMware, and if in our hearts, you'll be seen as a contributor regardless of your official status. And also, I am digging into that question as well, because a core contributor to me doesn't have to be only part of the company. But there might be legal implications, and that's why we might need to have that kind of a setup. So Abhishek is from the Tanzu business unit. He has done a lot of the Helm charts work. Esteban and I are discussing how we can deploy VMware Secrets Manager to Telco Cloud, the VMware's software-defined edge, SDE. And right now, I'm happy to say that we are using it in a bunch of products and projects within Telco. Soon, it will be part of a production deployment. How soon? I cannot exactly give a time frame, but within a month or so, based on our cadence and testing and verification, we'll be deploying it in a cluster. I cannot say which cluster, but I can say it's a nation scale largest cluster. Similarly, Arun, Farhan they are from a different business unit, but part of the project and doing their various contributions. Patrick Key is again part of Telco business unit, and he's helping more on the orchestration side. He's more intimate with the Carvel suite of tooling that does deployment application management on Kubernetes, and so he helps that regards. He's contributing to the Helm charts work as well. But yeah, that's the overall team. And it has been a while, and since our last sync up, I can summarize what have happened so far, and I'm also checking my time because I have a bunch of other meetings, so I don't want to be late to them as well. So one thing that we have done is we kind of polished the landing page. Before that, our initial website was something like it is not I don't know, it is not anesthetic, but it is not also marketing-y or a website, a landing page that sells a product. That's why we did a kind of an overhaul, and now it is we have what we do, we have a slogan, and then a picture of the the interface. Since it's a CLI, since we interact with VMware Secrets Manager through command line, it's hard to do a demonstrate a screenshot or a product gallery kind of a thing. But at least I thought we can put a screenshot of the interface to give a feel of the product essentially. I don't know, we might turn this into more an interactive video maybe later down the line, but this was fastest to get things going. And then we kind of say what kind of problems we solve, what are the core differentiators of VMware Secrets Manager, followed by some endorsements and a call to action to get started. It feels to me, it feels more polished, and we have been postponing this for a while, but I think a a project that has the caliber and quality of VMware Secrets Manager also deserves a like polished landing page, and that's where we are at right now, which is good. Overall, I like it. There are always rooms for improvement, and as always, this is open source. If you feel like there is anything that can be done to make the landing page better, pull requests are welcome. But this is how it is at the moment. Other than that, let's see what else we have done. So we created a use cases section, which started by gathering feedback from both from within VMware and also from outside interested parties. And that way we were able to create a list of scenarios that you can take as a starting point, use as a recipe. Like, for example, like how do I retrieve secrets? Like it's like a relatively a simple use case essentially. Or how can I do like a template transformation over a secret kind of a thing? And all of those use cases have a similar structure to make them coherent. First of all, we do a situation analysis. We tell what kind of a problem is it solving and why you need that kind of a use case, followed by, if possible, we are adding a screencast as well. These are still like work in progress, so more and more slimmed down versions of them will be uploaded, because this text is already in the page, so it doesn't make quite sense to repeat it. So like there will be more to the point, step by step screencasts that an interested user can follow and replicate. But still, these casts along with the text gives the opportunity to see the product in action essentially, and it's useful. I use this internally within our business unit as well, because since we started using Secrets Manager, teams and developers are coming to me and asking, hey, how I can integrate into this project, like how I can secure the secrets of Kafka, Consul, Zookeeper, whatever, and telling the same thing to everyone over and over. It turned out to be a little bit, time consuming. So we said, why not create all possible use cases and let whoever wants to implement VMware Secrets Manager in their clusters go through the use cases, and if they have any questions, they can then come into the contributor sync up or our Slack channel or create issues, and we can go from that point on essentially. So far it's going well. That's one thing that we created. Other than that, right now we are at version 27.0. This says 27.1 on the website because the website is always targeting the future version. So it's like one version ahead of the documentation. That's how it works, at least for now. Let me see what else we have. So we did a bunch of backlog grooming, mostly based on internal feedback. I had the other priorities on the project, and those are still important. So if you go to let me go back. So if you go to the issues page, there is one issue pinned, increase the unit test coverage to 50% across all Golang files. The reason this issue is prevalent is because we started using VMware Secret Manager in production capacity. So any regression, any bug that happens in production will be costly in terms of reputation, security, and anything else. So the way to mitigate or defend against those kind of instances is to first increase unit test coverage, and secondly to integration tests to more, code reviews and things like that. So starting from, next couple of months, things might get more vigilant, maybe less rubber stamps in, reviewing codes and more scrutiny. But overall, we have a cohesive, accepting community regardless of how we review codes. But, the reason was the main reason of that prioritization was that we are getting more serious essentially, and we have this. If you go to the website or the GitHub project, we have this link, that a button, so to speak, that shows the coverage numbers, which you can navigate through the entire project and see what files have been covered at to what extent essentially. And that also helps, if you want to add a test, you can say that, hey, this part is not covered, so can I improve the test that can help cover this area as well. But so far, it's going well. In the last check-in, the code coverage was around 20%. Now it is 29%. So bit by bit, we are getting closer to 50%, thanks to the all the contributions from the community essentially. Other than that, in terms of what we are planning to do, aside from these draft issues, which are here because of internal prioritization, the rest of the focus is on code coverage and documentation for a while. But at a high level, these issues are what we are focusing. For example, there is a initiative that we are planning to do around using different root keys that a external user or maybe a customer can provide, or rate limiting in the API. That might be an interesting subject to tackle with, for example. We have a Java SDK, but we don't know if it's working because nobody has tested it. We want to make sure that it is in good shape. There is another fun use case, and I kind of listed them from low-hanging fruits down to hey, this might take a while kind of a thing. So there are a bunch of bugs, tiny bugs that can be fixed relatively quickly, and these issues are how can you store thousands of kubeconfig files in a secret store? This doesn't quite align with the current architecture of VMware Secrets Manager, because VMware Secrets Manager is a in-memory key value store. It's not a database that you can store large files. So would that mean we have to create a database plugin that integrates and we encrypt rows of a database and then link the encryption key to the store? So that's why these are marked as draft. We need to think about it, we need to ideate on it, and we can do this. Whoever is interested in, we can create a separate working group and talk about it. But these are will happen as the time comes. Right now it's lower in the priority. I put it in the current iteration just to not lose track of them. And by iteration, we have either 1 month or 2 monthly iterations. So, but it is impossible to the end of this iteration is September 30. It is virtually physically not possible to do almost any of these, by the end of September, to give an expectation. But we are bit by bit, depending on our pace, we'll bit by bit get there. Another is ACL for secret access. Secrets Manager right now doesn't have a user or a principal concept. So from the perspective of VMware Secret Manager, a user is a workload. A workload has a cluster SPIFFE ID, and that's how it identifies itself. And there is no other think of roles, access. This workload can read but not write, or this user can create secrets for these workloads, kind of a thing. So that ACL needs to be again carefully considered, thought out, and designed. That's also waiting in draft state. A hierarchical secrets management, it's about let's say I have a main VMware Secrets Manager cluster and I have satellite clusters. Like the main cluster is like read-write and the satellites ones are read-only to replicate, the main store. And in addition to that, those satellite clusters might have different subsets of the main cluster. So I can create secrets for one company, and that secret can go to one cluster, and another company's cluster can have a different set of secrets that shouldn't mangle with each other. So how can we create that kind of a use case? Audit logging, we have logs in Secrets Manager. We have also logs that are marked as audit, but for a proper audit logging use case, you would need to separate the current regular logs from the audit logs. You need to dump audit logs to a different distinct file. You need to figure out a way to stream those logs to a logging aggregator. Again, audit logging is to have a regulatory compliant audit logging is like a longer user story than just create logs and put it to standard output stream. So that's also waiting. If fuzz testing, this is a good first issue, and I can actually move it a little bit higher, and it's also like not draft, so it makes sense to keep it higher, I guess. So Golang as a language has a ability to do fuzz testing. It's just finding use cases that we can do fuzzing, and most of those use cases I would imagine is across where we input from user, because that's where you fuzz essentially. So a Sentinel CLI interface would be a nice candidate to do fuzz testing. And the reason this issue is important is let me show you why. Because we are 97% OpenSSF best practices covered, and to move this to 97% to 100%, we need fuzz testing. So as far as I can see, and this is a public checklist, you can go and see it yourself. The only thing missing is that fuzzy testing part. So when we have some reliable fuzz testing, I can confidently say that hey, VMware Secrets Manager is 100% a entry-level OpenSSF best practices compliant. And like the OpenSSF best practices compliance has several grades. When we reach 100%, it will be a passing grade, which means hey, we are secure, but there are always more better grades, we can be more secure. There's a silver grade and there's a gold level criteria. But as the criteria's category increases, the amount of work you do, or automation and bureaucracy you weave around it, also increases. For example, for a gold level criteria, you'll have to do external security auditing to the project, which we have to do at some time, but still it is much higher barrier of entry when compared to the passing criteria. But bit by bit we will get there, and I am constantly searching for internal from within VMware and also external sources to ensure the quality of the project. Right now it is in itself secure enough, good enough, but you cannot claim that you are secure by saying hey, we are secure, trust us. A third party verifying the security of the project is useful essentially. So that's that one. Let me go back to, where is this one? Bing, bing, bing. Yeah. So what was I? Audit logging. Yeah, those are the stuff that are high in priority. I still haven't. Where is that? We also have a roadmap down here for those who are new to the layout of the website. So at every release, I typically go and update the current iteration and archive what we have done, like a summary of former achievements and versus what we are planning to do next. So this roadmap hasn't been updated yet because lots of stuff are happening within VMware. So the side effect of this being a open source project is you can plan, but you need to find time for it, and unless it is part of your day-to-day work, things can get sideways, I guess. So I didn't have a time to update this, but I'm hoping to update the roadmaps soonish. But at least it reflects to a more or less recent state of what we are planning to do. So you can go check in the roadmap as well. But yeah, so lots of stuff are happening. Like the one good thing is, let me stop sharing as well. One good thing is we started using this VMware Secrets Manager as a production capacity, which is which is good, because we have been working on this for the last 2 years, I guess, and it's good to see that the efforts are coming to fruition. There are also certain things that I can share, at least partially. So far, the majority of the users of VMware Secrets Manager had been within SDE, Service Defined Edge Telco business unit of VMware, and now there is a raised interest in other sister business units as well. So the usage, at least within VMware, the usage might increase. One of the business units that I'm talking to is ECS, Edge Compute Stack, which does compute deployments on edge locations, like private virtual clouds and things like that. So they have a secret management story, and they are thinking about using VMware Secret Manager in lieu of other secrets management solutions. So it's an exciting involvement, but it will also boil down to our priorities, their priorities, and things like that. But yeah, I'm in contact with them as well. From outside VMware, a bunch of people touched base with us, but we can. The thing is, because of how this project is shaped, we cannot call it a product, which means we cannot give a product guarantee like a SLA or resolution or whatever. Any support is at an open source basis, so you take it and use it as you at your own risk, essentially. So that's why an external company engagement with an open source group without any guarantee will take its pace, essentially. But there are people who touched base, which I cannot explicitly disclose right now. But other than that, it's overall going well. It's happy, lots of progress, and there's lots of issues. If you want to jump in, you are more than welcome to do so. I'm planning to do these monthly sync ups at a more regular cadence. I'm guilty as charged to skip some of them, but yeah, I'll try my best to maintain the cadence. But yeah, that's what we have. Any questions, comments, suggestions from the chat?
Nothing from my side.
Okay. Yeah, and it's good to we can always sync up with Ferhan separately as well. But Güray, Shahin, do you have anything to share? I don't want to be too pushy, but if you have anything to speak, it's the time.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Everything was good.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Welcome. The priority for us to contribute as open source developer is at this point increasing the coverage ratio, and we are going to give support on that. because I really enjoy while coding in this code base.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm happy to be a contributor to this project.
Where's my heart emoji? React. I'm sending it. Sending my heart. So yeah, like writing unit tests is not people's favorite topic, but it needs to be done. So it's better to get this stashed away, and so that we can start doing more interesting stuff as well. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like also for I talked to. I think I need to talk in Turkish if I'm going to address the Turkish developer community, so I'm switching languages. So Türkçe geliştirme yapmak isteyen arkadaşlar için de buradan bir anons geçeyim. Güray ve Şahin Türk geliştirici kitlemizin değerli katılımcılarından ve eğer hani bu VMware Secrets Manager sonuçta uluslararası küresel bir proje ve yani büyük çapta deployment'larda kullanılmaya başlayan bir proje. Yani böyle, deployment olarak da diyebilirim, hani mesela kıta Amerika'sı, kıta Avustralya'sı ölçeğinde yerlere kurulup kullanılacak ve dolayısıyla böyle bir projeye katkıda bulunmanız size çok önemli, çok güzel doneler verebilir. Ben projenin başındaki lead architect olarak elimden geldiğince bu projeye katkıda bulunanları ön plana çıkarmaya çalışıyorum. İşte LinkedIn'de, Twitter'da bulabildiğim her türlü mecrada anons ediyorum. Ve hani bunun ne kadar yararlı olacağını altını çok çizmeme gerek yok. Hani görüyorsunuzdur bunu. Onun dışında open source'a katkıda bulunmanın zaten şeyi de var. Kendince bir tatmini de var. Hani onu yaşayınca görüyorsunuz. Ve hani bunu kendi ana dilinde yapabilmenin güzelliği, hani var, bir kampüs diye bir topluluk var. Hani bunu projenin web sitesine girince de görüyorsunuz. Discord gg/campus'ten girip yapabilirsiniz. Parçası olabilirsiniz. Orada hani bu issue'ları Türkçe kendi ana dilimizde konuşuyoruz ve dolayısıyla dil de bir bariyer olmaktan çıkıyor. Sadece hani yapmanız gereken tek şey istekli olmak ve hani bu isteğinizi göstermek. Geri kalan her türlü desteği zaten içeride biz sağlıyoruz. Gelin katılın. Bence güzel bir şey. Yep, that was what I had to say. It's weird, switch languages, because like when I feel like, when I switch from one language to the other, my personality also switches. I don't know, it's a weird feeling. But yeah, that was an announcement to the Turkish developer community to contribute. It is the reason I said it because like in Turkey there's some kind of a language barrier. Like the community, part of the community feels like, hey, I am not competent enough to express myself in English, so that's why they sometimes shy away from like adding value to global international projects. But like as far as I have seen, there are brilliant minds that they can like add value, tap into this product and like be part of it. So why not? Because since we have a separate Turkish developer channel, we can discuss stuff in our mother tongue without having the language as a barrier to entry, essentially. So that's why that's one thing that I'm also fostering towards. I'm trying to enable the project to anybody, essentially, as best as I can. So we'll see. And like I'm having a hard time making this heart. I'll try it. Like first you do a diagonal, then you move it downwards and it becomes a heart, I guess, like this. So heart goes to like all of the contributors. But yeah, that's all I have to share. I'm hoping to see you on the next contributor sync ups, and we have a Slack channel, we have a Discord group, and you can find the links to them in vsecom.com, and you can be part of the community. We are a welcoming community, we are inclusive, we are open, essentially, and we are waiting for you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Volkan. And I just want to mention it, and Yeah, you are right, and the language barrier is really, really painful for the contributing to the from the Turkish community. But I think it's sometimes if you are not finding the good leader, and if you are not lead your project, I think it's a bigger barrier.
Okay,
Yeah.
I take it as
Than
a
the
compliment, I guess. Like I said, I in anything, including open source or whatever I do within company, I try to maintain my integrity. I try to be myself, and I try to give my 100% all the time. And this project started as like a hobby side tinkering, and it grew so much that I feel part of it, and I try to help anyone as best as I can. And I'm hoping I am doing something in the vicinity of being good.
Yeah, you are doing best. Thank you so much again. Yeah.
Okay, thanks a lot, folks. I'll sign off before I cry. Bye everyone. See you on the next Sync Up.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks everyone. Bye.